Hi there, I'm Paolo and I am part of the Finance Committee. The role of the Finance Committee is to provide oversight and guidance to matters of a financial nature to TPC's leadership. Since 2015, TPC has had its finances audited by Marwick & Company. Another important but separate governance body is the HR and Remuneration Advisory Committee. Looking at growth in the congregation, over the year from 2022 to 2024, TPC has grown by 76%. Now, to put that into perspective, if we divided ourselves into groups of 5 people, it would mean that at least 2 people in that group would not have been here 2 years ago. Introduction of the 5 p.m. service. And over the past 2 months, since it began, there has been an average attendance of 110 people at that service. In total, on an average Sunday, we currently have around 590 people. There's still a lot of capacity in the church to grow further, given the introduction of the 5 p.m. service. Over the last year, the number of kids in ministry has increased by 40%. Over the last 3 months, the average number of kids in one of the ministries, of which there are many, averages or ranges between 130 to 150 children. Youth has grown from about 16 kids early in the year, in around January. In November, there were about 50 kids, so over 200% increase in the number of kids attending youth. There have been 36 baptisms over the year. Next Steps lunches in 2023, 80 people decided to attend Next Steps last year. In 2024, 168 people have attended Next Steps. Next Steps is where people who want to find out more about the church become a part of the church. So that is an over 100% increase from the prior year. Before the 5 p.m. service began, so before October, there were 194 serving team roles being fulfilled by members of the church. So some people will serve in more than one role, but ultimately there were 194 roles. The current number of roles is 280. There's been a 44% increase. Over the last year, there has been an increase in tithes of a tremendous and significant 61%. Over that same period of time, as I mentioned, there was a 35% increase in the congregation. At the 2-year period from 2022 to 2024, there has been an increase in tithes of 69%, and over that same period, there has been an increase in the congregation of 76%. There has been a sustained increase in tithes that is in line with the growth in the congregation. And if we look at this graph, what it shows is that the number of people giving at different levels of tithing has increased across the board. The additional tithing which we've seen is not coming from a few people, it's coming from the entire congregation. And this is something that we really do need to celebrate. The tithing that I've spoken about excludes Beyond These Walls and other giving to specific causes. What we've seen in the past is that there had been a steady decline in giving towards Beyond These Walls. And so in 2022, there was a revival, a call, an appeal to commit to Beyond These Walls. And a commitment was made by the congregation of just over 20,000 Rand per month. That commitment has been both honored and exceeded. In addition to this, there has been a revival of Hope Bags, which is an avenue through which the church can extend generosity into families and communities, to people in need. During November alone, totaled 30,000 Rand. And so we really have seen a response to the appeal that was made. Then to look at giving in totality, a combined view of giving in the church. So from 2022 to 2024, consistently, combined giving has increased by 75% over the last 2 years. The building fund in 2017 raised just over 1.6 million Rand, and that made possible a revival of the chat room, the parents' room, various other parts of the auditorium were renovated. In 2023, an appeal was made to the congregation to aid the church in purchasing a generator. In the latter half of this year, donations towards the expansion project were given, and that totaled just over 139,000 Rand. And so some of the significant areas of expenditure I want to highlight. Additional screens were installed in the main auditorium. in the bleachers and in the seating area to the right of the stage. Air conditioners in the main auditorium were replaced. There was a necessary upgrade to the sound system in the main auditorium, with a lot of those speakers then repurposed and used to upgrade the sound system in the upstairs kids area. So the Todders Church was previously housed in a Wendy house, which was fairly small, and it was a Wendy house. That has been replaced with a new tech building and fitted out. It includes various fitments, one of which is a TV that allows parents to still be a part of the service. And that entire project totaled 206,000 Rand. And then on the front of expansion projects, there have been various improvements to the seating and outside area, which includes umbrellas and lighting, and that totaled just over 84,000 Rand. And then where we're sitting right now is the junior youth space was completely, was made out of nothing. This was previously used as office space in the church. We're sitting upstairs on the first floor, and this has been completely renovated, and it had a total cost of 135,000 Rand. Just to give you an idea of the generosity that abounds in TPC's life. Hordes of toys, brand new toys, have been donated to various kids ministries. The tables to the outside area were donated. The cabling and the work to install the TV in the toddlers area was done free of cost by one of our members. Repairs to the very roof of our church are done at times freely by one of our members. An inverter was donated to support the church during the week, so the church could operate during load shedding without having to run the generator. The urinals in the men's bathrooms were completely replaced, free of charge. The oven in the kitchen was donated. There are gifts that many give to visiting pastors and missionaries. The installation of various sound equipment in the main auditorium has been done free of cost. There are many cases of advice and services and discounts that are completely freely and generously given by the members of TPC. One can't put a number to all these things. It really does affect the entire life of the church. So thank you very much for your generosity.
In 2 Corinthians, Paul writes a passage, and he's writing to the Corinthian church on the matter of finances. Our desire is not that others may be relieved while you are hard pressed, but that there might be equality. It is wonderful to see it when everybody plays their part. It's not just 1 or 2 people that have got extra money that are giving to the church, but there is a broad base for the church giving. I want to boast about you, and I want to say, well done, TPC. We are all getting somewhere, and we are all tremendously encouraged. We want to avoid any criticism of the way we administer this liberal gift, for we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the eyes of men. You've heard about how things are administered, you've heard about how the funds are applied, and you've heard how we have ourselves audited. We are taking pains to make sure that there's no room for criticism of the way that the finances are administered in the church. Well done to the finance team with the meticulous detail with which you plan things, setting budgets, checking up on expenditures, and making sure that at the end of the day, everything is well accounted for. This is a wonderful thing that we have. At the moment, God is blessing us, and He is pouring out His provisions into our lives. He who gathered much did not have too much. How can you have too much? It is possible to have too much because you hoard it. You don't want to spend it. You are risk averse. We are spending money. And he who gathered little did not have too little. And so it's wonderful to see beyond these walls starting to pick up momentum. Watch 2025. That's going to be a highlight of our church life. So well done to each and every person, whether you are in a position to give just a little and you gave it, or you were in a position to give a lot and you gave it. Well done equally to everybody. God bless you.